next company, NeoStem, a cell therapy company capitalizing on the paradigm shift that is occurring in medicine. In the future, cell therapy will play a significant role in the fight against chronic disease and in lessening the economic burden that these diseases pose to modern society. Let's watch a follow-up interview with one of the hardest working and smartest CEOs I know, Robin Smith. I'm here with Robin Smith, the CEO of NeoStem, symbol NBS, on the New York Stock Exchange. Robin, thanks for being with us here in our studio today.
Thanks for having me.
You know, you represent one of the leading stem cell therapy companies in the world today. In fact, you're coming out with a book that on stem cell therapy, stem cell technology. The book's coming out in the next couple months. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So, you know, people need to understand about stem cells, that there are people walking around who have been treated in clinical trials whose lives have been changed by the therapy, and to realize that there's hope and that there is a paradigm shift in medicine for all kinds of diseases, from heart disease to blindness to spinal cord injury, and there's a paradigm shift in medicine. So the idea of the book is to have people realize and understand in layman's terms what stem cell therapy is all about.
Well, how is it changing lives?
Well, you know, we're moving toward a time when we're not treating symptoms, but actually the underlying diseases. We're looking to take the body's natural repair mechanisms and make therapies so that we can treat underlying causes of disease, like heart repair and peripheral vascular disease and spinal cord injury, and hopefully one day to even recreate lungs and tissue and tracheas. And we're starting even to see that today in clinical trials, that people are benefiting from cell therapy.
And you were a contract manufacturer for Dendrion's cell therapy that treats, the first drug to be approved to treat cancer.
Yeah, so it's interesting. You know, we hope to move toward a time when you go to a doctor and instead of getting a prescription for a drug, you get a prescription for a cell therapy. But making cell therapies, developing them, is not simple, and there are many considerations. So part of our business, we have a revenue side of our business, which is a service business. It's a contract manufacturing organization that has helped develop many cell therapies, including Dendrion's Prevent.
So we are a revenue-generating company on this contract manufacturing side. You also have the phase 2 trial for a cell therapy that would treat heart damage. Now, I want to go back to the book. The book, you spent some time at the Vatican, and there's a debate, should we use embryonic stem cells, adult stem cells? How does this play out in your book, and what's the relationship you have with the Vatican in this?
So not all stem cells come from the same area, and the idea is whether they're adult or embryonic. People don't really understand the difference in all of the advances in adult stem cell therapy. So our book is co-authored by Monsignor Trafny from the Vatican and Max Gomez, as well as the Pope wrote the foreword of the book. So we're very excited about that. It's important that people understand they don't have to choose between science and faith. And that is the idea, is that the Pope wants people to understand that the Catholic Church supports adult stem cell research.
So book's coming out here couple months.
It'll be in the bookstores in April.
You'll be on a book tour. Should bring a lot of attention to your company, NeoStem, a lot of attention into the stock. What are some of the reasons investors should consider buying your stock now rather than 2 years from now?
Well, we have a phase 2 clinical trial, which we're in the middle of enrolling and should be completed this year. And the first data readout should be 6 months after the last patient's enrolled. Hopefully, we'll continue to advance our V-cell technology, these very small embryonic-like stem cells, and through funding from the Department of Defense, get this into the clinic. And just continue to grow the manufacturing side of the business and have people understand that there's a paradigm shift in medicine, and at the center of this is cell therapy.
And at the center of this is NeoStem. 60 cents, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Again, fully funded company at this point. Stock trading near the lower end of its 52-week range. I think it's a very good buy myself. And of course, read our research. Go to RedChip.com and pick up the research report. If you want a research report, simply email us today or give us a call at 1-800-REDCHIP, and we'll send you a report on NeoStem. Robin, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I said it last week in my initial interview with Robin Smith. If NeoStem continues to grow its stem cell manufacturing business, securing contracts with companies like Dendrion, and continues to receive grants from the National Institutes of Health and the Department of Defense, and their clinical trials continue to show promising results, And I'll add that the CEO will soon publish a book, as you learned in the interview, on stem cell therapy, which will further highlight the achievements of NeoStem. It's reasonable, very reasonable, to believe the stock will move in an upward direction. Biotechs are all about news. They move on news. They move on good news. They move up. They move down on bad news. I'm looking for good news on NeoStem.